everybody, welcome back to Girls Unscripted. I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Kate.
And this is our weekly Gabbity reality episode. This week we are going over many topics, including Lindsay Hubbard being pregnant, Love Island, what I've seen of it thus far, Nick Viall and Natalie Joy cheating allegations, The Mole and who we think it is, The Challenge, The Final Reckoning, Ashley versus Hunter, Kenya Moore and Tom Sandoval blind item. My God, what more do you need? All in this episode coming to you right now.
We are back, baby. Girls Unscripted went on 1 week hiatus, but don't worry, because we're here and we've got a lot of shit to talk to you about. My name is Kate.
And my name is Carolyn.
And we are remote because Carolyn is sick.
I'm sick. Well, let's just say that I very likely have COVID because I went to Europe and it was rampant there and I was having really weird ass symptoms, including a metal taste in my mouth, which I was like, what the fuck is this? And then the weirdest headache, my scalp was sensitive. I was having such weird things. I was like, what is going on? I was getting TikToks about COVID symptoms and I was like, oh, no way. Those are COVID symptoms. So
that's crazy.
I know. So likely that's what it is, or else I need to go to the doctor immediately.
While you were in Europe, I was home for the 4th of July holiday and my brother had COVID.
In Philly.
First of all, I'm like, who's still testing for this thing? But right. I mean, he had like 101 degree fever.
I had fever all day yesterday.
And my mom was like, oh, it's fine. Like, you don't need to like wear a mask throughout the house. Like, we're not going to get it. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm home for 1 week this summer. I will not get COVID. I made him wear a mask in the house. I'm sorry. But I was like, sorry, dog. But like, I can't risk this.
I was also at a super spreader event, aka Taylor Swift. So
but it probably worth it. Why don't you just tell us about that? Because that's all the gabbers really care about today. They just want to know about the Taylor Swift concert.
They're on their toes, waiting just for me to talk about my Taylor Swift experience. Well, you know, it was actually a crazy experience. My mother-in-law, so I was on this trip because my mother-in-law is, I think I've said this here, I'm not trying to brag, but just for context, she is the president of the Alumni Association at the Mayo Clinic. And so they had like a Mayo Clinic meeting in Norway that had an extra little
real
trip.
Fast, for those of you who don't know, Mayo Clinic is not for the mayonnaise. It's like a doctor thing. I had to look it up.
Kate is the head of the Alumni Association for the mayonnaise.
The Mayo Clinic.
The Mayo Clinic. Yeah, so it's totally different.
So yeah, just wanted to clarify that with a stupid fucking joke. Go on. I love mayonnaise. Anyway, I had to shout out to mayonnaise. Go on.
Shout out SO. What's it? Hyman's, if you're out there. Hellman's. Hyman's. Oh my God, not Hyman's.
Oh, Carolyn, Hyman's. You just gave a crazy shout out. That's for the other Mayo Clinic, okay?
That's the third Mayo Clinic. Or no, it can go to my mother-in-law's Mayo Clinic. But anyways,
shout out to Hyman's.
No. We should title that Shout out to
Hyman's. People will be like, what the fuck is this? Anyways.
They really do need more attention, if we're being honest. Okay, so I'm in Norway and they have this like 5-day excursion add-on, and so we did the add-on and we went to the like Arctic Circle and we were at the islands and it was beautiful and we did bikes and boats and all the things, and then we came back to Amsterdam to fly home, and coincidentally it was the same night that Taylor Swift was in Amsterdam, so I went. But here's the kicker. My mother-in-law fell on the boat on one of the excursions and completely broke her arm and dislocated her shoulder. And she's the baddest bitch I know because she was just like, fuck, well, I'm just going to have to deal with it. She had 4 more days till Taylor Swift, and she's like, I'm going to make it to Taylor Swift. She didn't even go to the doctor.
Okay, well, that was my next question. Like, that's been like a fear of mine. Like, what do you do if you hurt yourself in a foreign country? Like, do you go to their hospital? I mean, I guess
well,
you do,
she did. Well, and it was the Mayo Clinic group, so she was surrounded by renowned surgeons. So
they probably could have like fixed her up in the hotel room real fast.
There's a shoulder surgeon on our trip, and so he was very helpful for this occasion.
That's crazy.
And we didn't know what was wrong, but I know her very well, and she does not complain ever about anything. Like, we'll just die before she misses work. And she was like really quiet, and she leans over to me and she goes, something's wrong. She just goes, something is very wrong. And she's like, my pain is an 8 out of 10. I've never felt this before. She's so cute. And something was wrong. Her arm was black and blue. She couldn't lift it. She was in so much pain.
Holy shit.
So she's in a sling, all this to say, and we can't bump her, move her, anything, or else the arm will whatever. And we don't know exactly what's wrong, but we know something's wrong. Turns out it was really fucking bad. But we go to the Taylor Swift concert anyways. So it's me, Kyle, and my father-in-law secret servicing her, moving 3 inches at a time through the metro.
Well, yeah, because that's crazy. Because I saw a video. I feel like you guys were like kind of around people.
So it's honestly the hardest mission. They should put it like on the mole. Like try to get someone untouched into the Amsterdam metro, into the standing floor. We had standing tickets.
Yeah, wow.
With the like shattered arm and see if she can survive. So it was, bless her heart. But also she didn't complain the entire time. She danced and sang and smiled and went back home and found out that it was indeed very broken.
See, these fucking Swifties will risk their goddamn lives to see this woman perform.
And you know what's funny? Her husband, my father-in-law, was like, Taylor needs to know this. Taylor, someone should email Taylor and let her know. And I was like, I don't think it works like that, but let me try. So
well, that's why we're talking about it now, because she's a gabber.
Taylor, listen to this. But writing it, I realized, I was like, she's just going to think this was insanely dangerous and inappropriate.
Right.
This isn't something I should laud that my fan did for me.
I'm one of the world's most renowned doctors on the board of the Mayo Clinic, and I ignored my ailing body to see you. Praise me, Taylor.
I could have broken my entire arm off my body, and I would not give a fuck, Taylor.
I would just shake it off, baby.
That's what she kept saying. She kept saying, I can do it with a broken arm. I can do it with a broken heart is one of her songs. Anyways, besides all of that, the concert was fantastic. She's a queen, and that's my side
Damn,
story.
that's a good ass story. That's crazy. Taylor Swift has been putting in she has been doing this fucking Eras tour. She's really emphasizing the eras on this Eras tour. She's been doing it for so fucking long, and I feel like she is putting in 110% in every show. I see clips online. Travis Kelce in the crowd just putting in work, dancing with everyone. I'm like, are you not tired of these songs by now? But you're not.
Oh, he's there. He was in Amsterdam when we were there.
Really? But he didn't go on the stage for you, right? I heard he went on the stage for one of the
other
other shows.
I was so sad.
That would have been cool.
He's a good performer.
Did you see the Northern Light?
Oh, okay. This is also what I wanted to tell you. We're such fucking morons. We were in the Arctic Circle, and it so happens we're in the 2-week period where the sun never sets. So it is light 24/7. And I knew this going there because they were like, bring your eye masks. But I didn't put 2 and 2 together that you can't see Northern Lights when there is no night time. You can't see them, so we didn't see them, sadly.
That's fair. Well, you didn't see those stars, but if you hadn't gone at that time, you wouldn't have seen a different kind of star, Taylor Swift.
I saw the biggest star, debatably.
She was your Northern Light.
She's my North Star.
Okay,
so
real
I
question.
Saw that.
Would you rather have seen Taylor Swift perform in Amsterdam or the Northern Lights?
Okay, well, I already saw Taylor Swift, so I think I would say the Northern Lights, just because I've already seen Taylor Swift, and Northern Lights is a bucket list thing. But so I'm not that crazy of a Swiftie, but I'm a pretty hefty one.
Hefty Swiftie.
If that puts me on the spectrum, where I lie, I'm
feel
not crazy, but I do enjoy her quite a bit.
I'm not crazy, but I'm crazy. Well, speaking of medical...
Yes, tell me if home, you, all the
first of all, I just want to say, speaking of medical ailments, I have to say, and I don't say this very often, you were right. And in our last Gabbity episode, I was like, I'm going to the dentist. I haven't been to the dentist in so long. And you were like, don't go to the dentist. If you go to the dentist, they're going to tell you other shit that's wrong, and you're going to have to get surgeries, blah, blah, blah. You were right.
Public service announcement. If I can do one thing before I die, it's to let the people know to not go to the dentist.
Just don't go. Well, okay, now, in all seriousness, it was one of those moments where I was like, fuck, if I had just been going to the dentist regularly, they probably would have caught this sooner and I wouldn't have had to go through this rigmarole. So I've had a couple root canals. I think I'd mentioned that in like a previous episode.
Oh, we've gone through it. Yeah.
So my crown popped off. That's why I had. Oh yeah, you looked inside my mouth, right? The whole 9
Yes,
yards.
you don't have a tooth. It's jarring. Yes.
So, anyways, I go to the dentist and they take the X-rays in my mouth or whatever, and the dentist goes, and I didn't really like his tone when he said this. It didn't make me. It didn't calm me. He just was like, "Oh wow." Thank God you came in. Wow.
Whoa,
and he's like, and I'm like, first of all, gentler tone here. I'm nervous. And he's like, you have a massive infection in your root canal. And we're going to need to like recommend you to a root specialist, blah, 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 whatever. He was like, I can't believe you're not feeling any pain. Thank God you came in when you did. I'm like, all right, calm the fuck down, doctor,
when you're
please.
at a 10, I need you at a 2.
Seriously, I was like, I respect the honesty, but whoa, I just said seriously really loud and my laptop Siri came up. Awkward.
Sorry, Siri.
So luckily, our producer Rachel, one of her like great friends, is a root specialist and endodontist, I think they call it. I went to him this morning and man,
Lotion.
I went to Lotion, exactly. Highly
Shout
recommend.
out Lotion.
Shout out
Yeah.
Lotion. And I like warned them. I was like, I'm really squeamish. I pass out, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. I could have stayed there for another couple hours.
Did they give you the good stuff?
Well, no, I didn't get any stuff. They were just really nice. They offered to like put me under local anesthetic, but I would have had to have like left and come back at a later date and get like a ride. And I was so fucking nervous, but I was like, I just need to get this over with. I was like, no offense, but I don't want to come back here.
So you didn't even get laughing gas?
No, I've never had laughing gas for anything. If they offered it, I would have taken it. But no, I freaking raw dogged it, baby. I mean, they numbed me. And the numbing was what I was like most scared of because it's like the needles. And
numbing's the worst part.
This is my fucked up mindset though, is while they were numbing me, I would be able to know if I'm going to like go into a panic attack or not, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody kind of knows. I was pretty fucking chill. I was really proud of myself. And the only thing I could think of was like, I fucking wish that like once they numb me, like they just had like a fucking Botox person in here to just like give me some Botox right now, because it's like I'm not worked up, like because I don't get Botox anymore because the last time I was there I passed out, so I was
Yikes.
like, and I miss it. Let me tell you, I miss it every day.
Yeah. Oh God, it's a dear friend of mine.
But all I can love Botox. She's my best friend. But that was my only thought was like, fuck, I wish that someone could just like pop me with some Botox right now, because it's like I would get it in the masseters, you know.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
yeah.
he's already on the inside of my mouth, just like give me a little on the outside and we'll be good.
Yeah.
I was in that chair for like over an hour, but it was fine. Did a lot of thinking, a lot of soul searching.
So what did they do? Sorry.
They had to like remove. This was another thing where I'm like, sometimes I don't need to know everything. He like was like, did you get your root canal done by like a root specialist or a dentist? And I was like, a dentist? And he was like, and just like shook his head, and I was like, what does that mean? First of all, I was like 12 years old, and he's like, yeah, they just did it like kind of old school. Basically they just had to like remove this screw and they put something else in, and now I'm on antibiotics to try to like get rid of the infection. He was like, it's up to your body now. Your body will do the rest. Your body will get rid of the infection. I'm like, I don't know about this body, sir. I don't know about this body. It's funny because I just get so worked up about this shit. And it's something that has happened in like my older age where I just get worked up about literally everything that I used to not. Going to the doctor and going to the dentist are like the two biggest, right? And my dentist, my endodontist, is Lotion, right? And my doctor is his wife, Alex. So it's like, now I'm like, I'm just going to people I know. I'm going to Dr. Chen and Dr. Chen. And that's that.
Dude, I text my in-laws all the time. Like, hey, yo, is this worth going to the doctor? Let me tell you, unless you are dying, they say no. clearly, based on her behavior, nothing, if it's not going to kill you, it'll eventually heal, is essentially what I'm told a lot.
No, and you know what? That's damn true. But other than that, so I'm like, but it was one of those things where like I went in there, I did it. I didn't like have a drug or anything, whatever. And then I left feeling like I was on the top of the world. I could not have been in a better mood today. I literally was like talking to myself as I was driving home, and I was like, you can do fucking anything, Kate. You are so strong. Like, I am so proud of you. I like was hyping myself up. I was so proud of myself.
Do I need to go to Lo Shen to get a tooth fixed?
Well, no, you just need to get really worked up over something, aka have anxiety over something, and then
do it,
have nothing go wrong, and then just be really proud of yourself.
And then talk myself up.
And then just be like, you are, dude, I went to the bathroom right when I got there. And I went in the bathroom and I like looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, you are a warrior. Like I really had to like hype myself up. I get so scared over this shit. I am my biggest hype man, but I'm also like my biggest downfall. Oh, it's just crazy. But
I need a 1/10 of what you have. Because my person, like in my mind, I look in the mirror and I'm like, you're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die in the chair and everyone's going to laugh at you about it. You know?
Oh my God. Well, actually, you know what he said to me that really helped? Because I had warned them. And so if you are someone that's listening that like suffers with like this type of like situational anxiety, I used to think, this is my tip to you. I used to think that, let me just not talk about it. I don't want them to know. Like, I just want to ignore it. But now I've started to like call the doctor's office beforehand and be like, you know, this is something I struggle with, blah, blah, blah. They take such good care of you. And I thought I would hate someone being like, are you okay, blah, blah, blah. But I actually think it takes away from the embarrassment of like, it's going to be so embarrassing if I pass out and blah, blah, blah. If they're warned, I'm not embarrassed anymore because they know it might happen. And he was saying like at one point, he was like, I was like laying in the chair and he was like, by the way, if you pass out here, you're in like the perfect spot to pass out. You're not going to like fall over or whatever. And it just, it made me feel so much better.
That's so great. I mean, we're like primal animals, right? Like we just want to be, we know that we're safe. And if we tell people that we have anxiety, they're going to assure us that we are safe and like go through extra measures to have that happen.
That's a good point.
And I'm not surprised. And yes, I've done that too. And most places are so accommodating.
Some it's not. The best.
You know, it's give or take.
And then unsafe anxiety. This was my story from home. I had an absolutely fabulous weekend at home. I'm from right outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's like the perfect little town to go to over the 4th of July. Setting off fireworks in the backyard. I don't know why I'm giving us a southern accent. That's
wear
weird.
Coors hats in Philadelphia.
I know. I'm wearing a Coors Light hat and I'm drinking and I have a Philly glass and I'm drinking a non-alcoholic beer because I found it in my fridge. Can you drink on antibiotics? Like, kinda, right?
You're not supposed to, but everyone, I do.
Yeah, but you gotta break the rules a little bit.
You will black out if you drink too much. That's the only
Even better.
Yeah, it actually just speeds up the process, which is good or bad depending on what kind of mood you're in.
Okay, well, it's good to know. Well, this is a non-alcoholic beer. It's actually quite good. It's at Athletic Brewing Company.
Oh, Kyle loves those.
No, these are, maybe Kyle left it in my house.
I think he actually might have.
It was just in my fridge, and I was like, let me try this. It's good. Anyway, so I went home. I had like a very restorative, a lot of family time, a lot of friend time. It was fucking awesome. Shout out to my people in Hatfield, Pennsylvania. But as like a bit, there was like a Facebook memory from 12 years ago of my dad and I in Hershey Park, Pennsylvania. And I was like, oh my God, this was so funny. Like, we should go again. Motherfucker buys tickets. Now, let me tell you, 12 years ago, I was what, 19? Mm-hmm. I'm different now. I'm built a little different now, if you can't tell by me passing out or thinking I'm going to pass out at the dentist's office. So you could imagine my fear when he presents me with these tickets to Hershey Park and it's like, we're going on every single roller coaster more than once. And I'm like, oh my God, like I used to be built. I was a coaster head, baby. I loved roller coasters. There was not a roller coaster that I would not go on. But now I've changed a little bit. You know, I can feel my mortality a bit more. But I was like, let me just do this. This is, speaking of mortality, this is fucking morbid. But I'm like, this will probably be the last time I go to a theme park with my dad. So let me just do it.
Girl, I feel you on that.
And Probably not. It probably won't be though, because we had a fucking blast. But I was so scared. I had my Fitbit on, and I was literally just like watching my heart rate, like 109, 118, 120. Like as I'm like getting closer. And the first roller coaster we went on, it was called Candemonium, something with candy and like mania, whatever.
A play on it, yeah.
I think my heart stopped like 4 times. He made us sit in the front. I didn't open my eyes the whole time. I don't know where this man gets off having like, he has no fear. I feel like men don't have as much fear as women do. Yeah. When it comes to like that stuff, at least. But it was so fun. Like Hershey Park.
I didn't realize Hershey Park, it's a theme park.
Hershey Park has everything, Carolyn. So
does it have everything?
The theme park, which was, if you're listening and you live anywhere near that area, go. It is so worth it. It's worth the money. It was clean. I felt like these rides were very taken care of. Engineers worked on this shit. We had a fast pass, recommend that. Then they have Chocolate World, where they show you like how they make the chocolate, and it's like a gift shop.
Like Willy Wonka?
Well, as my dad said, he was like, this is kind of like Willy Wonka. So yeah, they have like this whole Chocolate World. And then they also have like concert venues there. And I saw my first concert there, which was Aaron Carter and the A-Teens.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Name dropper.
Yeah.
Damn.
Huge
Also,
for me.
rest in peace.
I know. I loved Aaron Carter.
Yeah.
I have a t-shirt in my drawer back there. I'd get up and get it, but you saw what my bottom half looks like right now.
Do you want to show it?
Yeah,
no?
I will.
We'll keep it.
This is what happens when we film remote. I'm not buttoning this. It's just not happening. I don't snap these things anymore. They're too tight. They're riding up.
They're too tight. Yeah, I'm not. I'm getting too old. My butt can't handle it.
Yeah, I'm not buttoning it. But all right. I feel like after 2 weeks, we really needed that recap.
Yes, we went through what we did, and I feel closer to you more now than I ever have in my entire life.
You know, I say the same. Okay, I think the biggest bit of news that dropped over the past week is that Lindsay Hubbard is pregnant.
She is indeed pregnant. Motherfucker was lying to us.
But you know
what?
I
guess is okay.
I don't blame her, because she went on all these podcasts. She's not going to like reveal it on a podcast or whatever, but she definitely was scared that she was going to lose out on this Clear Blue Digital fucking money if someone found out before she posted it.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. That's probably what it was.
She was mad, obviously, that Dorinda leaked it at like the Traders thing or whatever. And I don't think that she's necessarily like mad that she got kicked off the show. She shouldn't have been on the show, actually. Kate Chastain tweeted something like, you shouldn't want to do those missions pregnant anyways. I mean, they're like flipping you upside down. You're rappelling off a building. Like, they would have found out she was pregnant. But I think she's mad that it was leaked, because I think Dorinda risked her getting her bag from Clear Blue.
Oh,
that's my theory.
That's really what was going down. I mean, and for listeners that didn't listen to this at some other episode, Dorinda from Real Housewives of New York apparently told producers that Lindsay Hubbard was pregnant, forcing her off of the show. And that's why now we have Sierra on the show, which seems kind of like an odd choice, which we said at the beginning. We were like, okay, like she's
of all
fine.
The Summer House people, I don't think she's giving Traders season 3, but whatever.
Kyle's already done it. I guess they could have picked Amanda. I mean, longer running people. Paige would have been fantastic.
I mean, you know what? Let's be real. They probably did ask a couple other people before.
That's
Sierra.
what I'm thinking. Like,
because Lindsay is #1 fucking choice for Traders. Yeah. Then Paige. I don't think Paige is doing. They all probably said no, but Sierra is having her moment right now. So
yeah,
let her live.
Let's let her live. I also think it's kosher for women to deny they're pregnant until a certain time period.
Yes.
Like, isn't there a window where you're not really supposed to tell many people because it's still a shaky time, like 8 weeks or 12 weeks?
Like, yeah, it's like 12. Yeah, exactly.
Although I saw something where she said she knew she was pregnant at the reunion, which was April 6th.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy.
I saw a tweet that was like, Lindsay being pregnant at the reunion is like what I looked like at my like high school senior prom. Like, you know how like
I saw
we
that.
were all so thin back then, and we like thought we were so fat. It's like Lindsay looked so good, and she was wearing a belly shirt.
Yeah.
Like, how bold is that?
I don't know. She looked really good, but I was really impressed by that. But yeah, she did it. Clear blue. Get that coin, girl. I bet she got a lot for that.
I want to just read the caption because I think
Please
it's
do.
so funny.
Yeah, it's
It's so good. Okay. This is her caption for her Instagram post announcing she was pregnant. Trigger warning. This post contains more fireworks than the 4th of July. We're pregnant! Explosion emoji. I truly believe the universe has a bigger plan and this is it. The second I had a feeling, I took a clear blue early digital pregnancy test. Getting a clear result in words made the next step so much easier. My boyfriend and I are beyond excited to welcome our little #hub cub this holiday season. #clear blue partner, #clear blue confirmed. Hub cub, I actually didn't see that the first time. That bitch knows how to do a fucking hashtag.
She really does. She
I
really
respect
does.
it.
And we supposedly know her mystery boyfriend now.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, someone got a name, so I just looked it up.
I have been trying. Carolyn, I wanted to be the one to break the news. There was a photo with like their hands around her stomach, and I saw he had like bracelets on, and I'm like going through her following list. Like, can I find this man based off of his bracelets?
You're so fucking funny. So I just Googled, I saw it earlier, and I was like, fuck, I need to have this down. But there is a full name. Someone has identified him.
She did post a photo of the two of them together, but like put a heart over his face. I'm like, at this point, you hiding it is just making it like a bigger deal than it is.
That's the thing. Like, is he gonna be unknown forever? Can they not? Are they like Britney Spears? They can't go out in public? Like, I mean, it's a little ridiculous to think that they can just keep him private forever.
She's gonna fucking reveal it through like another sponsored post, like, trigger
So
warning,
true.
here's my boyfriend, and I really got to know him via 23andMe. We did a 23andMe test to figure out where he was from. Like, that's how she's gonna announce her fucking
both
boyfriend's
from
identity.
Cook County, Ireland. Who would have thought?
I hope our little hub cub has some of that in his DNA.
His name is Turner Koof, allegedly. Like Kufe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, I see him here. I don't know if this is him, but what I'm seeing, he looks cute.
Oh, he's handsome.
He does look handsome, if that's who he is. I made a TikTok about it, and someone commented, and I loved their comment. They were like, I don't know why we're acting surprised. Lindsay had a timeline. She was sticking to that timeline no matter what. The only thing that changed was who she's with. She was saying she was going to be pregnant by this time no matter what happened. I'm like, damn. That is true.
Allegedly, if this is him, he's the VP of Research and Investments at Royal Pharma, aka money dollar sign, money dollar sign, which is great. This is exactly what Lindsay wanted. She wanted someone that had a lot of money, that had his life together. She was ready to get that hub cub in her hub body.
Hell yeah.
That was so weird, but you know what I mean.
Hub cub in her. Never mind. I was going to say hub cub in her chub. What the fuck? What the fuck does that even mean?
In her hymen? What?
Bring it back to the shout out to the hymens.
That was a callback. This is so weird. This is so strange.
Have you been watching Love Island?
Yes.
The
I've been
US
watching,
one?
Here's the thing. The US one, yes, this season. Have you ever watched Love Island? Do you know?
Actually,
how it
so
goes?
I've watched like all the Love Island UKs except for like the recent one, and I watched one of the US ones, and this is like so wrong of me, but it's like pissing me off now that all these people online are like obsessed with Love Island, and I'm like, where have you been? Like, this has been a show for fucking ever, but I've heard that this US season is really good.
So I wanted to be able to talk more about it. I think next week I'll give you the full rundown because there are so many episodes and I haven't been back long enough to binge all of them. I mean, we're already, it was like 26 episodes. And yesterday I was sick. All I did was watch it. I watched 10 episodes of Love Island and it was really good. So far, so good. It hasn't gone crazy, but there's a lot of drama between a lot of people.
Yeah. I heard Ariana is like a great host too.
she is a great host, and she has genuine reactions to things and is pretty, and that's pretty much all you do.
That's the issue with Love Island. I did enjoy watching it, but before I made fucking reality TV a pseudo career for myself, I watched it for fun. And now there's just so many things to watch that I can't commit to watching an episode of television every single night.
I know. But once I catch up, I know I'll be so in it that I'll want to watch it every night. So I gotta get there. I want to hear what's up. And it's hard for me on social media, like just not getting spoilers for the next couple days while I try to get up there to episode whatever we're on, 30 or something. I mean, it goes 6 weeks.
I know, it's crazy. Would you ever go on Love Island? Like back in the day?
Absolutely not. No.
I don't think I would
I'm not
either.
confident, and you know why? It's really sad. I'm not confident enough in my body. A lot of Love Island is showing your butt and stuff. I'm not confident enough to do it like they do. And
You know
they
what?
do it so well.
You're right. I think I looked at them once and I was like, I would go on this. I mean, hypothetically, go on this show if I didn't have to sit around in a fucking bikini all day.
Not just bikini. I mean, these things are like, talk about strapping the bodysuit in. I mean, these things are up
Talk
your
about
ass.
hymens.
Talk about hymens visible for the whole crowd to see. Like, I can't do it. I could, even back then, I wouldn't be strong enough to do that. Now, if it were like Snow Island, would crush it. Would crush it.
AKA Winter House.
AKA Winter House
Pretty much.
with some rules, would crush it. What about you?
Like I said, if I didn't have to wear a bikini all day, every day, or if I was fucking really hot, sure, why not? It looks fun. I feel like they make really good friendships. That's always what I'm most jealous about these like reality shows. I'm not looking for love out here on a reality show, but they do always seem really tight, and like they make all these friends. Like it would be fun to live in a villa with your friends for a couple weeks.
It's a life-changing experience regardless, and they're all going to go forward having shared this thing that only, by the end of it, 10 of them will have gone through, or 15 or 20, I don't know, where it rotates through the house. So I totally get it. And that's all about, I'm such a sorority girl. Like, I love that stuff. I love camaraderie. I would do it.
Do you know anything about Natalie Joy, Nick Viall's wife, supposedly cheating on him?
Okay, I need you to break it down for me, because I know the rumor's there, but I don't know the deets.
So the only reason that I am finding this necessary to talk about on Gabby is because I don't know why I've ever underestimated Bachelor Nation, but fucking Bachelor Nation is so big and mighty. I made 2 videos on this on TikTok, and each got over 1 million views, and I'm not a 1 million view type of girly. Like,
congratulations. I didn't see that.
Thank you. It was huge for me. So basically I saw, like, it started with our boy, Harry Jowsey. Okay, it all started with Harry Jowsey.
It always starts with Harry fucking Jowsey.
It's always Harry Jowsey. He's always in the center of everything.
Why?
So
oh my God.
I guess Nick Viall was talking about Harry Jowsey on Viall Files and not speaking very kindly about him post Perfect Match. Okay, if you've been listening to Gabby, you know what we're talking about. So someone commented on Harry's Instagram and was like, yo, Nick Viall's talking shit on you on his podcast. You need to go on and like clear your name. And Harry responded and was like, he needs to worry about his wife cheating on him than like whatever the fuck I'm doing. That's not exactly what he said, but he said something like that. So then I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm not like a Bachelor Nation girly by any means, but like I do listen to Viall Files. We've talked about it on this podcast. So I literally simply Googled Natalie Joy cheating on Nick Viall, and like a Reddit thread came up, and it was like basically saying she was cheating on him before they got married with this well-known influencer guy, and that's why her friendships like all crumbled, and that's why she's not friends with anyone anymore, blah blah blah. So here's what happened. Here's what I've learned, and this is all alleged. First of all, let's keep in mind these two, and I believe this is the correct number, have an 18-year age gap. Okay, so she's I think like 23 years old right now, and he's like 38 or 39.
Oh, and Nick is right. You're talking about Natalie and Nick?
Yeah, Natalie and Nick have like an 18-year age gap.
Yes, that is like it's a crazy. I thought you were talking about Harry. It's like, no.
Oh, sorry, no. Crazy age gap. So when they got together, she was like 19, 20 years old, whatever.
It was odd. No
and
offense. I mean, It just felt sleazy.
Before, this is all alleged. Before they got married, she was having an affair with this guy. He's on a TikTok called The Shoe Surgeon, and his name is like Dominic Chambrone. It's like an Instagram guy. He's like tatted up, like hipster guy, like does shit with shoes, whatever. But it was secret. So Nick and Natalie it was secret to everyone. I don't know.
Oh, so she wasn't sleeping with Harry. It was someone else?
No, Harry was just the one that like revealed it.
That leaked it?
Yeah, so Harry's done.
Okay.
Harry's done. Harry's out of here now. So this wasn't like common news or anything, but like we don't know if Nick knew prior or whatever, but like no one knew. Nick and Natalie get engaged. They have this big engagement party thrown by her friend and big YouTube influencer, Keaton Milburn, which I'm learning everyone on TikTok is like, oh my God, I love Keaton. Never heard of her. So Keaton and her mom throw Natalie this engagement party. And then right after the engagement party, they all go to Paris. It's a girls' trip with Natalie and her girls, like her best girlies. While they're in Paris, supposedly, they find out about this cheating thing. The reason that they find out, I don't actually know how they find out. Apparently Dominic, the guy that she's cheating on Nick with, is one of her girlfriend's bosses. And like, that's how they know each other. You feel me? So
oh my God.
they find out, they get back from Paris and they have this huge falling out. And the reason that the internet catches on to this falling out is because all like these pictures start getting deleted to the point where Keaton's mom, the one who threw the fucking engagement party, deletes every single photo off of like her Instagram and Facebook. And people are like, when the mom does it, that's when you know. Like,
What?
it's done. So she does not associate with these girls at all anymore. And then the rumors start flying. Now, apparently, a lot of people have known about this. Apparently, even Caitlin Bristow said on her podcast one time, like months ago, I don't envy Natalie and Nick. I know a lot about their relationship. I wouldn't want to be in that relationship. And since you're a bachelor girl, do you know who Greg Grippo is? Mm-hmm. And he's dating Victoria Fuller.
I thought they broke up. Are they still together?
I don't know.
Okay.
But supposedly because again, this is like a commonly shared secret, he spoke very loudly about it at an event with a bunch of bachelor people. So then people started hearing about it, and that's when the rumors started. Now here's the fun part. And I refuse to make a TikTok about this, but I will share it on Girls Unscripted Elite for our elite listeners who we love so much. That's basically all I said in the TikToks. I was like, this is crazy. And I did kind of say like the reason that this is like, I don't love to like talk about rumors and shit, but Nick talks so much shit about people's relationships on Viall Files that like, and he's trying to like bury this and basically says like, people shouldn't be talking about me. I'm not a public figure. I'm not in the public eye. I'm not on reality shows. Stop talking about me. But it's like, he literally hosts a reality.
Does he say stuff like that?
I think he said that in response to like this whole thing. Like that was his statement.
Well, if he said that, that's one of the kookiest, craziest things I've heard all week. Because he literally went on The Bachelor. I can't count how many times. I mean, he came in. He came in as like a normal contestant. Then he came back as like a surprise, Caitlin Bristow. He came in as like, I love you, Caitlin. I want to come in. Had sex with her. It was a whole big thing. Yes, on the show. And Caitlin got like sex shamed. It was horrible. It was a different time. And then, I mean, he comes on, I think maybe one more time, but then he is the Bachelor himself. And then he creates a podcast that is one of the highest grossing podcasts about shit talking other people. So that is wild if he does say stuff
right
like that.
And he's basically hitting us with a keep my name out your motherfucking mouth, and I'm sorry sir, but that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh wait, also before I give you the tea, one more thing is that people speculate. So Nick started randomly getting like a bunch of patchwork tattoos in like his late 30s, and people were always like, that's kind of weird that like Nick Viall's just like getting these tattoos. Well, this guy that she cheated on him with is like covered in tattoos. So the internet's like, he's just trying to keep up. So here's the tea. I posted this video, and this doesn't happen to me very often on TikTok. I'm like motherfucking Demois, okay? People are messaging me and they're like, Anon, please. They're starting it saying Anon, please, which if you don't know means anonymous, please. Like, keep this anonymous. And they're like, I heard that da 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 da. And they're like telling me all this shit. And they're like, this one girl messaged me. She was verified on TikTok and was like, I have more tea on this Nick and Natalie situation, and I have it from a very good source. I refuse to put it in writing, but if you want to know more, like, we can talk. And I literally responded to her and I was like, because that's just too much for me. I was like,
what is this, The Sopranos? What's going on
right,
here?
like, I actually, if you're going to DM me like that, I don't want the information, to be honest with you. Like,
you have to meet me in a back alleyway.
I told her, I was like, look, I appreciate that, but I already feel like the fucking Viall estate is about to sue my ass just for posting this video. So, because the first one got flagged, like, right away. And I'm like, wait a second. This was the juiciest thing that I will share here. Someone messaged me and just was like, hey, you know, I obviously read it. I didn't ask for it, but they were like, what I heard is that Nick knew that she was cheating on him and basically said to Natalie, I can't have another failed relationship. Like, this is embarrassing for me. You're going to stay with me. And the baby was kind of like a trap. Like, it was a pregnancy trap to, like, get her to, like, stay with him. Granted, it takes two people to, like, have a baby, obviously.
Make a baby.
But I could see that if Nick Viall is this ex-bachelor now basically giving relationship advice on a podcast, it's horrible for his brand if he has another failed relationship. So it does make sense that him and Natalie are, like, this perfect couple and all this stuff. Like, you know, that's all I'm saying. I could believe it.
I absolutely could believe it. I mean, his brand used to be the guy that gets in failed relationships. Like, that was kind of his gig for a long time. And even I remember when he first started dating Natalie, I think we all thought it's just going to be another girl, 18-year age gap. It's not going to be a long-term thing. And I have actually been shocked that it turned into a long-term thing. So this completely makes sense to me. And I've always found it so ironic because he gives so much relationship advice. And I guess that's part of it too. It's because his brand now is like, well, now I'm in a committed long-term relationship with a great wife and a baby, but he's had so more failed relationships than I have ever had relationships. Like, it's crazy.
Well, I think that's why it is a big deal, because this is, if it is true, is quite a serious thing to be, you know, these are quite serious allegations, right? And I feel like people would have a bit more grace for anyone other than Nick Viall, because not only does he walk around preaching like he's his relationship guru, he's extremely judgmental towards other people's relationships.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing where people are like, haha, your fucking girlfriend's cheating on you.
And it's crazy how he talks about it. It just comes off the tongue as if he is Socrates. I mean, he'll have an opinion about any relationship, and it's like, well, duh, yeah. That's what you do when one person isn't emotionally compatible with it. Like, you know, it just rattles it off as if he's like
he invented
Sophocles.
The relationship.
Yeah.
Like, he's so nonchalant about everything.
Yeah, like, oh my God, I would 100% believe this. It also makes me very sad. I'm going to end it there. It makes me feel icky. I feel bad for them. That's weird. If it's true, that's unfortunate.
I feel bad for them too, if it's true. But you know what? If it's working for them, sure, whatever. They got a cute baby out of it, so.
Well, you know what's working for them is that damn podcast together.
Well, and that's probably why he's like, this cannot
is working
fail.
for them, yeah.
And I wonder if that's why she started also being on the podcast.
I know, that makes sense too.
Like, you scrap, fine, if I'm going to stay with you, then this needs to be our thing.
Yeah, we're a united front here. Welcome to the limelight.
And people are saying, like a lot of people are weirdly like Team Natalie. I think Nick is just not very well liked by a lot of people, but they're like, dude, she wasn't even old enough to fucking drink yet. Like, so obviously she's gonna cheat on you.
Right. He's such an interesting character. I know we've talked about him at length, but I just find him, he's so compelling in that way of like, we don't like him, but we can't stop listening to him.
And that's what, and literally my TikToks, I was like, you know, this is why I don't like Nick Viall, but I'm a fucking hypocrite because I do listen. Like, I think we listen because we don't like it. Like, look, there's a reason he's got a hit podcast. He's doing something right. I do enjoy listening to the interviews. So, you know what? Good for you.
Good for you. Have you been watching The Mole?
I have never watched The Mole, but I hear I should, because everyone's like, if you love The Traitors, you got to check out The Mole. It's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix. And do you know the premise?
There's like a mole in the group.
It's a group of people and they're all trying to make money through missions, but one person is secretly sabotaging all of them so that they don't make money. And so every week they have to take a quiz about who they think the mole is. And it has a bunch of different questions. And whoever answers the least amount right gets sent home. So every week it's narrowed down of who's not the mole because they just got sent home. So it gets like the pressure builds and it's very exciting. It's very binge worthy. I suggest it for anyone who has a cosmetic procedure where they need a little downtime. Like just rip through it. It's so fun. But now we are down to the last 6. It started with 12. We're now at 6. I think the next 2 episodes are going to be released on Friday and will be the finale. With that, I'm just going to say a little bit about each and see your immediate reaction of who you think it is.
Okay. I like this because this is like on right now, right? Like it's currently airing.
This is on. So first we have this guy named Sean. Sean used to be an undercover cop, is now a stay-at-home dad, and he's really good at lying. He's proven it again and again. Now keep in mind that when you are on the mole, you also kind of want other contestants to think you're the mole, so they vote you in the questionnaire, so that they go home.
Okay, got you.
So some people kind of lean into the self-sabotaging thing because they want it's a strategy. He's almost at that level. He's lied a lot. We can see that he's a very, very good liar. He seems to really want the money. He's very emphatic, though, and a very loud voice in the show. That's Sean. Now we have Muna. Muna is a software engineer, and she's been on everyone's radar since the first episode. She was very trusted in the beginning, and then now her reactions to losing or gaining money are so big that we're like, is this real? Like, is she really that upset if we lose it or not? And then there's Michael.
I'm literally taking notes. I'm taking this very seriously.
You take this very seriously. Okay, so Michael is the one to be known to sabotage everything. I mean, if you look at it from an outside perspective, it'd be obvious for it to be Michael because there's many missions where he's done blatant things that would be sabotagey to help them not get money. And he's also a very loud voice in the thing. So those 3 are really the top suspects that the producers are giving us, okay? But there's still 3 other people. There's still this chick named Ryan who really kind of sits in the background and hasn't done a whole lot, but she has done 1 or 2 things that you could say, well, that was unnatural. That's not something a normal person would do, or that's mole behavior. Then there's a girl named Hannah who is she's this, I think like 23, 24, bombshell blonde. I think she was on Miss America at some point, and she's very loud, and she's been like the voice of reason in all this. And every mission, she's the smart one, and she's the one that says, no, it can't be that because of this, and it's very intelligent how she connects the dots, and therefore has kind of really put her off the radar. But should that put her on the radar?
Okay.
And then the last person is Deanna, and Deanna is a web sleuth. So she's known for solving things on the internet. You know, have you ever seen Don't Fuck with Cats?
Yeah.
I like that. She's one of that. And no one's talking about her, and I'm not really sure why. I think it's because she also kind of stays in the background and has reactions when they lose money that seem sincere. But those are the 6. So the real question, I want to narrow it down. Do you think it's one of the 3 that producers are shoving down our throats? Or do you think it's one of the 3 that are kind of less likely suspects?
I'm between 2 people. And
who are you between?
There's one of each. Mm-hmm. I'm between Muna and Ryan.
I think it's Ryan. I totally think it's Ryan. And I could also see Muna.
So I think
of those.
I'm going to go in order real fast. So Sean, the first one, the undercover cop, loud dude, too obvious. It's just too, on Survivor, when people are cops, on Survivor, they don't tell people that's their occupation because they're known to like not be trustworthy.
And that's the thing. He didn't tell people that he was an undercover cop. We knew that he's an undercover cop, but because of one mission, the cast one member got a dossier of like his real information, and they found out. So at first he tried to hide it.
I think the producers wouldn't make it him though, because that's not fun for us. Like we would all think
Agreed.
It's him. I don't think it's Michael because that's also just too obvious, a known sabotager and loud. I don't think it's Hannah because I just don't think they're gonna make it like a hot blonde and she's smart. Like, I don't think they're gonna make it Deanna because she's smart and a web sleuth. Like the two smart people, I think they'd want to keep them as the people that are trying to figure it out because that's fun to watch. The reason I think it's Muna is because she's has these big reactions and they don't really match up. And I've played plenty of games like that with people where I'm like, their reactions give them away. And I'm like, okay, obviously, like, you're the werewolf, whatever
and the
game
way
you're
she
playing.
talks is it seems a little character-y. Like, there's just something about it that doesn't seem completely authentic.
Right.
But it's funny because at the beginning of the show, she was voted one of the most trustworthy. And now everyone's looking at her and like, Muna, what's going on, girl?
When I think it's either her or Ryan, because you said Ryan like kind of sits back, doesn't really do much. And that was Dan from The Traitors. Like he was focusing so hard on being the traitor and like staying under the radar that he just didn't do anything. And I feel like as like the mole, you'd have to be really careful with every single thing you said and did. So it may be easier to just do nothing.
And this group needs no help losing money. Like every mission, because there's all these opportunities for players to lose money for selfish reasons. So each person could bid for an exemption secretly. They could write down out of their pot what they had, how much they would be willing to take out, and the highest bidder would get an exemption. So they had like $70,000-ish in their pot. One person put the entire amount, drained the entire bank to zero.
Wow.
And moved on. And like, he's now out of the game. So they are just so bad at this that like the mole doesn't have to do much.
I feel that way though with like traders and stuff like that too. It's like, how could you possibly know? Like they're not like giving you much to help you figure out who it is.
Yeah, and like
they
the whole
see you
sabotaging
fail.
thing. Yeah, totally.
Man, maybe I should watch that because while you're telling me this, I'm like, I could host a mole for my friends. Like that'd be a really easy game to like do.
Yes.
Like we could do anything.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see you try to produce that because I do wonder like how much producers tell them what to do and how easy it is to just intuitively do it because the whole entire show is resting that one person doesn't blab that they're the mole or fuck up in a significant way to ruin this entire expensive show. So it has to be some sort of playbook that they go by.
God, there's so many good shows out there. So many
I
good.
know.
Okay, real quick. We don't need to stay long so Carolyn and I have a list of things we want to talk about. Our list is long today, and we're gonna skip a lot of stuff. But this isn't on the list, but I just have to say it real fast. It goes back to the challenge because I know we have some challenge listeners. I just finished watching The Final Reckoning where Ashley takes the $1 million away from Hunter. I disagree. I disagreed with her doing that. I think that Hunter was an asshole, but I think Ashley was an asshole too. And I think that Ashley was probably a very difficult partner to have. And I bet there was a lot that we didn't see of Ashley. And sure, Johnny Bananas taking $275,000. Oh, whatever. $1 million. She couldn't have given him $500,000. Also, sorry, I just watched it. I felt like it was the easiest final challenge I've ever seen in my life.
I don't remember what the challenge was.
They literally got out of a helicopter, ran, had to stand on top of a pole, eat, and then run, and then walk over hot coals. Like, it wasn't like that. Like
the hot coals. Yes. I remember this. I don't know where I stand on this one. Ashley,
I know it's been a couple years too, so sorry to bring it back up.
Yeah, I would have to go back and watch to have like a really good case for this. But Ashley's a pain in the ass. I mean, she's known to cause a lot of problems on the show. she gets kicked off, doesn't she? Like, she has to leave for certain, like, non-PC purposes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But Hunter, if I recall, was also very misogynistic, right? Like, he
and he
did
called
not
her a
treat
slut
well.
and said he was going to kill her family. Like, he was, okay, I don't disagree with her doing, I think if she was an angel, I'd be more team Ashley. I know why she did it, but I'm just like, damn, dude. Like, you took $500,000 from your teammate that got you there.
But at the same time, $500,000 is fucking life-changing. Life-changing. And $500,000 is a new life for some people, you know? Like, with $1 million, the world is your oyster. I mean, I hate to say it, but the way Johnny Bananas thought was like, that could really change my life. And I want to change my life. And he bought a house with the money he got, you know? So I wish, in an ideal world, I wish she could allocate like some money to him. Like, not half of it, because that's $500,000.
Right. But like, here, I'll give you $100K.
Yeah, like they do in other seasons. They kind of do something like that. So
I listened to a podcast with him on it, and apparently Sarah, that got the money taken from her with Johnny, reached out to him and was basically like, I really recommend you go to therapy because the way you look at people is going to change now completely, and it's going to be really hard for you to trust people. I was like, damn. It's just crazy.
Wait, she was saying he would look at other people differently?
Like Sarah was like, I was so fucked up after Johnny stole that money. Like, I didn't trust anyone. Like, I didn't think anyone had like my intentions, like good intentions towards me. I'm like, you don't.
Damn.
And Hunter was saying like, I don't see the good in people anymore because I couldn't believe that she did that. I'm sure there's a lot that we missed. I don't know. Okay, I do think that we should touch on this Kenya Moore, Tom Sandoval thing that I have on this list to tell you about, because if it does come to fruition, it will be cool if we like broke it first. So I came across this blind item.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah, if you've been listening to our Gabbities, Carolyn explained the whole Kenya Moore situation to us about her getting suspended from the Real Housewives because she plastered photos all over an event of a fellow castmate doing sexual acts. So the blind item, and if you don't know, I think we've talked about this, but it's just like, it's like a rumor, right? It says the suspended housewife is going to file a discrimination lawsuit against the network because they have done nothing to the bar star who did the same thing. In fact, his salary was doubled. And that's supposedly about Kenya Moore because she got suspended. And Tom Sandoval, who is the bar star,
I don't get it.
So he's currently in like a revenge porn case because he recorded Raquel doing her thing over FaceTime, and then supposedly Ariana like sent it to Raquel. That is not the same thing as enlarging photos that you found and plastering it all over a public event for everyone to see.
I know. When I read it, I was like, that makes no sense. It also makes perfect sense because that's a very Kenya thing to do.
I could see why in her mind it's like, because we are celebrating Tom Sandoval for being a fucking dickhead, but we're not. This season isn't about him having this video of Raquel. It's about everything else, you know? It's like his salary wasn't doubled because he did that. His salary was doubled because he's an asshole for a plethora of other reasons. Yeah. Also, I didn't realize his salary was doubled. I don't know that that's true, but that's just what this says.
Well, I don't think it relates at all. And I know it doesn't, I don't want to justify what Tom Sandoval did. I think that's a horrendous violation of personal privacy. But we have no evidence that he was going to send it to people, let alone make posters and put it at a public event and hand them out. So right. I think I just don't think it's on the same field. It's not distribution, but if we do see this lawsuit, you heard it here first. Unless you saw the blind item, then you didn't. Yeah, I'm more behind the curve. All right, I feel like we covered a lot of bases. I feel like it might be time to wrap it. Maybe wrap it. Well, because we've got a fucking amazing Vanderpump Rules episode to recap after this. Guys, it's the white sweater coming off of Jax Taylor episode. God, you have to listen to this. I am so excited to talk about it. It's Jax Taylor wearing a white sweater in the desert at the end of June episode. at a strip mall where they get into it's genius.
You just
It's
have to
genius.
listen. You just have to listen.
Have to listen. So go listen to our recap that we'll go do right about now.
All right, let's do it. We'll see you guys there. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody. We love you.